I recently had fun at the Undiscovered SF Festival, geared to boosting Filipino businesses in the Soma Pilipinas Cultural District, and it really drove home how important it is for a community to have homegrown community businesses thrive. Joining me now is a man who shares that sentiment and does something about it. Anthem Salgado is a business coach who runs a practice and training program called Art of the Hustle. And while he has professionals and small business clients up and down the state, he focuses primarily in the Bay Area. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And we were talking a little bit about, helping Filipino businesses thrive and things like that. I mean, it really is a small community that really focuses on doing that.
Yes, indeed.
Give us an idea of Art of the Hustle. What is that about?
Well, as a philosophy, I think it means creative problem solving. It's about looking at your circumstances and finding the best way to maximize on opportunities. As a practice, it's a business coaching service to help folks who identify as self-employed or small business owner to basically grow their respective services and businesses.
Yeah. Do you find maybe a problem with some of the older businesses and the people, that are that have been around for a while but are used to doing business a certain way, and now they have to kind of keep up with the times?
Yeah, and I don't know if that's specific to older businesses. I think that's true of everybody. Sometimes we get into fixed mindset, and really the aim is to stay fluid and flexible and ready, and ultimately that is what hustle is, right?
Yes.
Is that mindset.
Right, and staying on top of things, right?
Yes, indeed.
How do you do that? What's the way that you communicate? How do you do that and not only teach people things, but also make those lessons stick?
Yeah, a lot of times it is about giving people structure, and beyond that, it's about asking the right questions, because a lot of, I don't want to be a lecturer when I teach or when I coach. I feel like questions really help people arrive at a lot of their own conclusions, and that's way more powerful than me telling them what to do or how the world should be.
Well, so what are some of the fundamentals that you kind of stress?
Yes, fundamentals. There are so many.
Yeah.
I think off the top of my head, I would say first things first, got to have a strong mindset, sense of belief. Second after that would be skill set, meaning having the abilities and a sense of plan. And then finally, it's this thing that I like to call the get set, meaning immersing oneself in an environment that really supports success. So that means community, people, neighborhood, family, and peers who are in similar work.
Is it difficult for Filipino businesses to extend beyond the immediate community? Do you find that they sort of tend to be a neighborhood business and don't think beyond or in a bigger scope?
I think that may be true. That may be true. But I also think on the flip side of that, it's an advantage to have that as a place to start. Right. A lot of times people wonder, where will my audience come from? Who is my customer base? And it's nice to be able to look out of your window and say, well, these folks, my people, are my customer base. So it's a really wonderful place to start any kind of business.
And you don't want them thinking that you've abandoned them or trying to do something beyond what they are kind of expecting of you, right?
Yes, indeed. It makes a great foundation, and from there you could build and reach many other people.
How do businesses and business owners, how do they get in your workshops, or how do people get involved in your program?
There are so many ways to participate right now. So I provide one-to-one coaching. I provide workshops, and I'm actually giving one this week for a summit called Entrepreneurs that's happening in San Francisco. It's the second one, and it focuses exclusively on Pinays in business. So I'm very excited to be able to actually be one of the only men participating this year. They granted me status as honorary Pinay.
That's right, and of course you have that sensitivity to it. So how do people get in contact with you?
Yes, I have a website called artofhustle.com, and that would probably be the best way to get all the information. My goodness, artofhustle.com should be easy to remember, huh? Yes, indeed, indeed.
How are you measuring progress? Have you seen a lot of progress being done? How is it going out there?
I think I don't have statistics, but I think as far as progress, I could share some anecdotally. The things that I have seen is that people are going from startup to steadying out, because startup is a very precarious place to be, just launching, and I'm finding people are getting to that place of longevity where they can actually see a future in business. I think statistically speaking, the longer a business stays open, the longer it can continue to stay open. So the beginning years are the most difficult. And so we're seeing folks get to that place.
Yeah, so should people who are trying to start a business also touch base with you, or are you more working with people who are already in an existing business?
I think primarily folks who are in an existing business, but I'm pretty open. I like to share as much as I can. So even if someone is just starting out, I always welcome those phone calls. I welcome those emails. I share as much as I can before we get into any kind of formal coaching setup.
Okay, so if they go to artofthehustle.com, they'll figure it out, right?
Yes, indeed.
All right. Thank you very much, and good job in the
I appreciate it. Thank you.